Hey Dolly friends, it's me Holly. Welcome to my channel. And today is finally the day that I'm going to get my doll Bittersweet, who I named Beatrix. I'm going to get her in her outfit that I have been slowly curating over the course of a few months. And I'm really excited to show you the pieces I have and tell you a little bit about Beatrix's story. So let's go ahead and dive in. I've been storing it in this basket and it's all in a paper sack, envelopes and things. So I'm going to go ahead and get them all out to show you individually, and then I'll tell you a little bit about Beatrix. So really quickly, the story of Beatrix, well, I wouldn't say this is her story as far as her character, but I decided to get Bittersweet. This is Bittersweet in tea. And I decided to get her in honor of my grandmother who loved purple, and she was an artist and a rock hound. She would go around the countryside digging up all kinds of rocks and stones and gems and petrified woods and anything and everything she could find. She would collect it, and then she would take the rock in its natural state. She'd kind of break it up, and she would make really large painting of usually a landscape with these rocks. And it started as mosaics on her first piece, but then eventually she transitioned from mosaic style, where you cut into squares, and turned it into just large pieces with a natural rock shape. Anyway, she spent most of her life from like 40 on making these paintings until she was in her 80s. And she had a museum, and these pictures, I mean, the biggest one was like a 6x8 painting. She called it stone painting, but it wasn't paint, it was rocks, it was gems. So the bittersweet part about all of the story is after she passed, we stored all of her paintings and artwork at my parents' home. They're very large and hard to move and kind of fragile, so it was difficult to find a place to display them and not have them be damaged in transit. So we were storing them at my parents' house. Well, in 2017, there was a big fire in the area that took out just so many homes, much like the ones in LA now, but back then it was the Northern California region, and all of my grandmother's artwork, along with countless other homes, were lost forever, never to be seen again, except in a few terrible photos that I have of them that I used in a presentation in college. That's all that's left. And so that's the bitter part. Really bitter part. But the sweet part is, because of the fires and the homes and everything being destroyed, my parents, who were not home at the time, thank goodness, they have now moved up here to be where I am in Oregon, and now they're 15 minutes away versus 12 hours. And so that's kind of the sweet part of the story, that I get to see my family after loss. And so, but Bittersweet is dedicated to my grandma, and I chose to name her Beatrix because Beatrix Potter is also an artist. It just sounded better than Velma, to be honest. That was my grandma's name, Velma. So she just looked more like a Beatrix or a bee. And so her whole entire character and the look of her is going to be very earthy, and stones and gems and beads, also that purples and plums and lavenders. I have been curating pieces and clothing pieces to make her character. And I've also been just having fun writing a story of her and her actual character in Character AI, which is just an app where you can do storytelling. Let's get to looking at her outfit, and you can see what Beatrix, her actual persona, looks like. So the first thing I did was I had to find the base dress that really kind of spoke to me for her character. And I found it on Etsy. And I know at least there's one other one out there on Instagram. Someone has it. There was a sale in November, so I've had this for a long time. And it's this like midnight mushroom dress. And the seller, I think this is the name, Harrison. If I'm saying that right, there's her information. Anyway, Nina Harrison, and she's made some other really beautiful pieces, but this mushroom piece really, really spoke to me. It has a sheer sleeve that kind of angles down, and another sheer sleeve. And the character I've made for Beatrix is in, of course, a fantasy world. She's a human mage, and she's in a world where elves and humans are kind of at war, and so she's going to try to help bring peace. So this has a double split in the front, which shows a little leg, which, you know, I'm kind of okay with, but my daughters, they're my They're my modesty police, believe it or not. They do not like how low it is on the model on Etsy, or the fact that there's a slit that would show so high up. So I decided to look for something that she could wear underneath that would add some layers, but also add some modesty. And I have a couple options I'm going to show you guys. We'll probably try one or two, probably try both of them on to see. And then also a bunch of accessories. So let me get those other layers and show you. Okay, so the first layer I got, it's from AliExpress. Okay, so it is just a sleeveless lace, turquoise lace top with the bodice. And then the bottom is very long, tulle with some layering. And I thought that could be really pretty. So let's see how that would look. Because there is turquoise in this dress, and that's one of my favorite colors. So I thought it would be kind of neat to bring out hints of that color. Okay, so there's a bit of a problem here. There you can see, and maybe it's not a problem. The tulle line goes a little bit below the rest of the dress, and I'm not sure that's really the look I'm going for, although the top is a nice design. But I have something else I'm going to try. I'll show you. So I have these midnight purple fingerless gloves that I love these. They're a mesh. They can be a little see-through if you make them tight enough. But they don't stain. The red one, at least, did not stain any of my dolls. And so I went ahead and got the purple. And I thought that could be beautiful for creating a top color. And I think I like this color even better than turquoise. It just still has that nighttime look. All right, so we would have kind of the ruffle there. And then this would go as kind of a lower skirt. Just a little bit. Just to hide. Just have a little bit of modesty so the girls won't complain at me. Hey, look, I appreciate that they're modest. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this for sure instead of the turquoise. Just looks good. All right, so then I want to get to some of the accessories. So because in my story, Beatrix is a mage, she needs a staff, of course. And on AliExpress, I found this amethyst staff. I think it's a hairpin, and it isn't long enough, really. I mean, for her to hold it like a staff, it's just, I don't know. It's more like a scepter, I guess, for her. I thought about maybe extending it with like a really nicely decorated chopstick or even a stick from outside, and I use leather or something so it would be more like a handle. I don't know, but I think for now it's just going to be her scepter. Okay, so now I have some accessory pieces that I want to put on the outfit. Oh yeah, I also got her this journal from Hobby Lobby. It's the perfect color to match the color scheme. Having that turquoise in there, I really liked that. So that'll be a nice addition. Oh, and her shoes. I will show you. I didn't show you the shoes. Okay, so I have these black heeled boots that I thought would go nicely with this. I thought I bought these for a different doll, so I might need to be getting another pair. But I like just the solid black, simple, but they have an elegance with the heel. Okay, so different accessories. I've been collecting things since Christmas or before. This set ribbon was actually on a gift that I received, and I saved it because it's kind of got that perfect color. And I didn't know if I'd use it on the belt or the hair or what, but I saved that. And then I went to Hobby Lobby. Oh, this actually, before I do the Hobby Lobby stuff, this is actually a necklace that I received years and years ago from a missionary friend. I think this is from Nepal, handmade, but the color scheme was just beautiful. I didn't know if I wanted to put it on her head. I just kind of got a lot of things out to try to see what might really work for her. So then Hobby Lobby, I got a whole bunch of different beads, shiny ones, natural ones. Wasn't sure which ones I'd most want to use. Like I like the greens with this one, but this one's super shimmery for like a necklace. And these ones were a little more on that bright blue. I just didn't think that it matched that well. You can see how the different stones look. And I feel like I really like this one and this one here. So these ones will be for different projects. So I will be using these somehow. I imagine this one here will be a necklace because the stones, the beads on them are so delicate. And then later on, okay, I also got these. These are also in the same section. So sometimes bracelets make really great belts or headbands or even necklaces. And so I just decided to get these ones. I love the colors. This was the last thing I collected and I just love it. I got it in the notions and sewing section of Hobby Lobby. And my thought for this, I thought about maybe having it go around her waist. Even these kind of going around to kind of hide the black a little bit. or connecting this so it kind of hangs down around the dress. Lots of different options. I'm not really sure exactly what, like I've said, what I'm going to wind up doing, but I wanted to have a lot of accessory options to complete this look. Final thing I really wanted was a cloak. And the only cloak I really had, you all have seen before. It's a Girl for All Time cloak that goes with, I don't remember her name. Anyway, you've seen her. I have her. Matilda, maybe? I don't know. And it doesn't quite match. Like, it has burgundies, but it's just these match. That was an option that would fit her scale-wise pretty well. And the other thing that's neat is, her sleeve would come out this. But then I unboxed some Blythe stuff the other day, and I got this cloak. It actually has bats on the top. I didn't realize when I bought this that the underside lining is this beautiful shimmery plum burgundy. And I have found that Blythe cloaks and hoods can fit the Smart Doll pretty well. So I thought, let's see how that would look. And as you can see, it really just, I think, looks nice. So I'm going to get her dressed now in some form of all of these pieces and show you guys the finished product when it's all said and done. And you guys can tell me what you think. Stay tuned.